Venus and Serena gonna shake up this world.
Venus Williams, who is your best friend?
You, Daddy.
Serena Williams, who is your best friend?
Venus. Then you. Then you. After Venus.
Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel here representing Team JVS. I am back here again for another movie review. This movie I have been anticipating since the very first trailer. The first trailer that, you know, kind of came out for King Richard, which I'm talking about. It literally brought me to tears even in the trailer. So I was kind of like, this looks powerful. This looks like something that could be one of the greatest sports dramas that I've seen in the past 5 years. And I'll tell you this right now, up front. I normally don't do this. This is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. I thought this was great. I thought that the acting was phenomenal. I thought that the music and the composition were amazing. The setups for scenes, from a written standpoint as well as from a directing standpoint, were set up perfectly to execute and convey emotion or devotion or sadness or like a push for a dream that almost seems impossible to comprehend. That everybody looks at as like, no, this is never something that makes sense, to one person that's like, no, this is gonna be the reality. This movie, King Richard, was amazing. And that's me giving my unfiltered thoughts, because I had the luxury of being able to go and check this movie out at the Warner Media location in New York. Me and fellow YouTuber and content creator Matthew Hayes were invited, and we were able to screen it here. I'll show you a little bit of the footage from that, because they had a Q&A session with Will, Saniyya, and Demi. Saniyya plays the role, of course, of Venus, and Demi plays the role of Serena, and of course Will Smith plays the role of their father, and that is Richard Williams. But let me show you a little bit of clip of that right now.
Hey you guys, we're in the Warner Media building about to check this out. I'm here with my man.
Yo, what's up?
Hey,
what's good?
Let's go. Yeah, we're about to check out King Richard with the Q&A with Will Smith and the cast. What's your feelings, man?
Dude, I saw the trailer and I'm like, I gotta see this because I feel like it's gonna be a really good story with showing their life and everything. So I'm just super excited to see what they do with this.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things from every film festival, so we'll see where it goes, and we'll talk to you guys more after the Q&A is over.
No, but Venus and Serena came on set, and you know, it was their sister Isha and Lindrea were producers and on the film every day. So we had family members at all times on set walking us through every detail. And what Venus was saying was how beautifully she felt that you captured the love and joy between the sisters. And what were you guys basing that on? What was the work and the research and what did you see that you were trying to capture in their relationship?
This also does star John Bernthal, Aunjanue Ellis. She plays the role of the mother, and there's a slew of other people in this one. I think Tony Goldwyn does a really good job in this one as well. But just in general, like, the movie is so powerful. But let's go ahead and kind of, you know, break this down. So the look and the feels so vibrant. Like it takes you back to a period in time, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, like, your boy Richard's got these, like, you know, short shorts, and like he's high water, and he's tube socks, and he's working a security job, and at the same time he's devoted himself to helping to train and set these young girls on a path. But it's not just two girls. He's also got other daughters, and he's got responsibilities. And then his wife, she's working, you know, job for job, trying to help pay the bills. And just the situation they are in Compton is a very, I don't want to say a dangerous situation. It's just a very unknown situation. Like there's moments where, you know, things seem okay and like everybody's rallying behind him. And then there's moments where like the next door neighbor may be looking at him like, are you abusing your children because you're pushing them too hard? Or you're going out there and you're training out in, you know, just a local tennis court, and somebody's pressing you against, you know, trying to get at one of your daughters, and what do you do in those kind of situations? The backdrop itself, in the framing and the positioning, allows these actors to really truly emote. And this is the other thing, like, as much as the moments that are set up for the emotional beats, there's an emotional scene. Oh my gosh. It takes place on a tennis court with Saniyya, plays role of Venus, and Will Smith, and it is one of the most emotionally resonant scenes because the way that the screenplay goes is so important. It's so pivotal to the whole core of why all this is even happening. Because Richard is not the perfect husband, he's not the perfect dad. And yes, he's got a dream and a plan, but that doesn't mean that it's always right, and it doesn't mean that his ego isn't pushing or thwarting it left or right. But what it does allow is a lot of good exposition to show and unpack why he's doing these things, what he's gone through, how he's been put to this point. And a scene like that was one of those perfectly positioned ones. But the other thing I was going to say is that from a sports standpoint, oh my God, as an athlete myself, dude, I am all about great cinematography, great music to engage you, to make you anticipate, to make you, you know, rally behind someone, you know, or go against somebody else, to just be in it as though it's an actual sporting event that's happening. When you can do that on a cinematic level and engage the audience, which this movie does with almost every, like, it builds. I'll say this. So Saniyya and Demi, they did go over this in the Q&A. They went through a rigorous amount of training. I mean, both of them semi-athletic backgrounds, but they went through a lot. Like, some of them actually got hurt physically, but they went through a lot to get to where they're at towards the third act. Because in the very beginning, you see them like, oh, okay, they're doing really good. Okay, but are they gonna turn into, like, the metamorphosis and the build of every single tennis scene? And this is the thing, like, a good cinematographer and a good director can make anything, no matter what it is. If it's chess, like The Queen's Gambit, if it's like Remember the Titans, you know, with Denzel Washington, or like this, in allowing these action-based sports moments to be truly an engaging, immersive experience. This movie has it. It has it, because by the third act, I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And this is the other thing, is that they're doing their own stunts. Like, the tennis is real. They're not, you know, allowing somebody else to do it. Like, no, these girls are really devoting and putting their bodies on the line to make sure that when the shots are going, when they're hitting the rackets, or they're on it, or they're about to get into the zone, or they're, you know, emotionally distraught, or there's a deal or something happening and they just can't deal with, they're all the way there. They're all at all times. The framing and the understanding is that these actors are becoming and have become these amazing superstars that have changed the course of history for sports entertainment. So the acting is great. Will, I give him all the credit because he doesn't allow himself to be the center of attention. I guess that's what I'm gonna try to say. It's that, you know, like, some performances, like, you go overboard, or you do this, or you do these things. Like, no, I mean, even based on the recorded footage that I did see of Richard Williams, I mean, the walk, like, the limp, like, the attitude, like, the way that he would speak, like, the enunciation of certain things, like, Will truly looked like he transformed himself to be their dad, like, straight up. And he even said it in the interview that he's like, at this point in his career, like, the focus is not just on me, it's something completely different. And these two actresses, and Saniyya Sidney, that plays the role of Venus, like, she's got so much emotional depth, and there's so much that they're pushing her to do and try to push through, that I think she nails her performance in this one. And I mean, that's not to say that Demi Singleton as Serena isn't any better, because it's crazy, because if you don't know the story, like, Venus was the pivot point at first, even though, you know, Serena's right there. And we know what happens towards the end. We know they're both successful, but we also know the track that Serena is. And it's kind of like every single scene that Demi was in was very vitally important for you to understand where her character is going to go. Even down to a certain scene that happens towards the back half that I was like, I didn't know how to feel about it, because I was like, as a dad, it's a hard conversation to really have, but it's a very important one, and I think that plays to it. But also, Aunjanue as the mother, like, she does such a great job of being there in every single moment. Like, whether it is devotion to her daughters, devotion to her husband, coming against her husband for his betterment, coming against the circumstance for his betterment, and it's a very good balance. Like, it's never a perfect moment. It's always met with a lot of challenge to get to the top, and even when you get to the top, it's never like the perfect push through. It's always something more. I'm sorry I'm rambling, I apologize for this, but this movie, it did leave an impression on me, and I haven't seen it. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen it, so just to be fair. So John Bernthal, he plays the role of Rick Mountsie, and Tony Goldwyn plays the role of Paul Cohen. Paul Cohen was the first person that kind of shows up on this one, and you know, he's a trainer, and I don't want to spoil too much, but it's really interesting how they use him. He got really good chemistry with Will, but the standout for sure, outside of the amazing girls and Will and the wife, was definitely John Bernthal, because John Bernthal's character Rick Mountsie, he's looking at it from a lens of like, yo, I've gotten to the top. I know where it is. I know what it takes. And you guys are positioning yourselves and saying there's more or higher level that I can't perceive. And it's kind of like the whole entire time. Like, I was like, I don't know how I feel about his character, but as a progression, I was like, I really understood his character. I really liked his character, because I was like, from his perspective, what they're doing and how they're doing and how Richard's moving don't make sense. As a matter of fact, there's an amazing sequence that takes place at a house with him and Will Smith's character that I felt like was also an equally important sequence to making sure you understand right now where Richard's head is, where Rick's head is, and where the circumstance is. Because right now, this is a very vital situation that's going on right now. And you don't want to play with somebody's future, you know, but at the same time, it is a game. It's a Game of Thrones, so to speak. The score was just great. The actual song selections were just great. Screenplay was great. I could gush forever about this film. I don't want to spoil anything more than that. I would just say, when it releases in theaters and on HBO Max on November the 19th, go and check it out. Go and take your sons, take your daughters, take your family members, go and watch this, because this is something special that you do not want to miss. Whether you're looking at it on, you know, the silver small screen, or you go to the movie experience, either way, you're gonna have an amazing, emotionally resonant, important, you know, experience through King Richard. That's all I gotta say. 10 out of 10, as I've said in the beginning, as I normally never do. I never give a score ahead of time, because then it's like, well, what do y'all care about this? But to me, honestly, it was more important for me to let you guys know how good this movie was before I even uttered a semblance of a phrase at all about it. So let me know what you guys think of King Richard when you go and check it out. Let me know if, you know, this is a decent review. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you comment. Let me know what you think. Are you anticipating? You hyped now about it? You should be. I'll talk to you guys soon. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Hope you enjoy a little bit of the footage that I'm gonna also create for the Q&A session. I'll have that as a separate video outside the small segment, so I'll try to link that at some point, either in the description bar below or right after this. Take care, you guys, and stay blessed. Peace, guys.